early life was really interesting. It took a long time to kind of really understand and accept my identity as a gay man.
I knew that I wasn't like the other kids around me, so I just went through life being like, I'm a weirdo, that's fine.
When it came to understanding my identity as a trans woman in my early life, basically I didn't.
I had crushes on my friends. I knew they didn't have crushes on me.
And I remember realizing, yeah, I'm different. I like guys, and I just remember a sinking feeling.
People were pretty much aware of my sexual orientation, of me being gay before I knew I was.
My friends actually weren't super surprised because they were like, you love Jodie Foster so much.
I had way too many Beyonce posters in my room to be in such denial.
It kind of felt like I was the last one to get the joke a little bit when it clicked, when I realized it.
But when I realized I was gay, I knew that the messaging from my parents and what I was being taught in church, that I knew it wouldn't be accepted.
It made me very paranoid. I didn't trust a lot of people.
I felt very stranded. There was no one to talk to. I honestly hated myself for a good portion of my teenage years.
Didn't hang out with people, didn't get invited out to parties or anything like that because I was different.
The time when I was growing up, as well as my cultural background, made it as such that being gay was not something that was openly talked about.
I just kind of learned to hide, and I got really good at hiding.
And it makes you feel alone.
I do distinctly remember feeling pretty alone.
My last-ditch effort was trying really hard to be a guy. Okay, I'm gonna cut my hair short, I'm gonna grow a beard, I'm gonna start lifting weights, because apparently that's what men do.
I postured a lot, I guess. I kind of, tried to put it on display that, that person I thought was attractive.
And it seemed kind of like it was working for a while. I got a lot of approval, but I'd never felt more alienated from myself.
I wish I could have felt less shame growing up, knowing where things would end up today.
My life today is actually pretty great. I've learned to accept myself, and I've actually learned who I am.
I'm able to celebrate myself a lot more. I'm able to celebrate my community a lot more.
Contrary to all my fears that I would lose everything, my life has been more full than it's ever been. It sounds maybe a little cheesy, but I feel like I'm finally becoming the person that I've always wanted to be, and that's not just me being a woman. That's me being the kind of person who can give back, the kind of person who is patient and empathetic and can be there for other people when they need it, because I'm not constantly in crisis anymore.
It took all that time from that moment in childhood when I realized, okay, well, this is part of who I am, but still not finding the exact answer until very recently when I realized, well, okay, not only am I bisexual, I am also non-binary, I also am this person. This is who I've always been, which is just me.
Some of the personal triumphs I've had, I think just liking myself.
My life today is day and night. My family is accepting of who I am. My family is also accepting of my partner.
Life really turned around after school when I hit 18 and I started moving out of school and either going into work or going into college and meeting other like-minded people in person.
Ça fait 7 ans que je suis avec mon copain. C'est une personne merveilleuse. Je me suis jamais entendu autant qu'avec quelqu'un de toute ma vie.
I probably thought that I would, never even get married, and now marriage is legal in the US, and I'm engaged to this wonderful guy, and I'm really happy.
I went through some point in my life where I was two different people at home versus out in the world, and that is truly exhausting. And now I am 100% myself all the time, no matter what setting I'm in. And if people don't like the person that I am, I'm totally okay with that because I'm totally okay with myself.
Finding a job here at EA has been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had in my life because I can actually be myself here.
EA is known for ensuring our employees can be themselves every single day. And if they can, then it makes them more creative, it makes our products more vibrant, it makes our games more relative to the people who play them.
It certainly helps to know that the company that you work for sort of has your back when it comes to that kind of stuff, because you don't have to worry about, you know, censoring yourself.
Everyone here has been super welcoming. It's a very diverse and inclusive group of people.
It's the second company that I've worked at that I've been openly trans at, and it has so many resources, so many more resources than anywhere else I've seen as a workspace for people who are trans.
EA wants you to bring all of you to work. So my wife knows the people I work with. My wife comes to company events with me. In the company I work for, wants people like me represented in our games, in our culture, and in everything we do.
So I joined Pride, honestly, for a sense of community and a sense of belonging with folks who are either like me or like-minded.
It's really important to make sure a workplace is inclusive and diverse. Everybody has a right to feel safe.
My two best friends back home are drag queens, and having them bring me out of my shell and have them portray their own confidence and sort of portray that to me sort of helped me become confident. And if I can sign up for an ERG and maybe meet somebody who needs that type of person in their life to help them become comfortable with themselves, why wouldn't you want to be a part of that?
Being able to get involved with events allowed me to interact more with people who understand my background and the struggles that I've faced.
It's meant like building this culture here that doesn't exist by accident, this culture that made it okay for me to be an openly trans woman at work, to transition at work and go through that awkward process and have that all be fine. Like, that doesn't exist by mistake, that exists because people worked for it. And I want to be part of that, and I want to build that, and I want to make that better.
I didn't come out until I was 39, so late in life. And it was difficult working in a sports studio, feeling that maybe being gay wasn't going to be accepted here. I didn't want anyone else to feel that way as well.
It allows me to be better able to use my own voice to be able to sort of lift up those who maybe don't have the loudest voice or feel like they can't speak up.
So I think a lot of times people are tempted to feel like when you say something like it gets better, it's almost, it feels really convenient or really easy, but it's genuinely true. It is something that gets better for you.
At some point, you're going to find your community. You're going to find people that love you, and you're going to find people that respect you and that embrace you.
There are people out here that want to love you and want to accept you, and they're just waiting for you to find them.
The whole world isn't against you. I'm a part of this world and I'm not against you, and I'm hoping for the best for you.
Abandonne pas. Les choses vont s'améliorer. Tu peux pas t'imaginer la confiance, le bonheur que tu peux vivre dans le futur, donc lâche pas.
Don't do what I did and not be honest with your friends, because we really do choose our family.
It's okay to need and to ask for help. Like I've called Trans Lifeline and been sobbing so hard I could barely talk because I didn't know what else to do or who else I could possibly talk to, because I felt like everything around me was falling apart because I felt like it wasn't going to get better. I had to reach out to my community to make it through that because I couldn't do it alone. You're not a burden to ask for that. You're never a burden.
I would tell them to be courageous, be brave, and be true to themselves.
And you should know that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, and you are the person that you're supposed to be. And if someone else doesn't agree with that, that's totally fine.
For myself, I know for a lot of individuals, it takes time to fully understand yourself and understand that side of yourself. And so I guess it can definitely take those who are in your life and around you that same amount of time, if not longer, to understand those things as well.
In time, you will absolutely smile about the fact that you had to go through all this when you were a kid and wonder why did I make such a big deal out of it.
Now is but a small moment in time. Things will get better because they just, I don't know, they just do. They just do. Things got easier. Things did get better.
I wish I could say to my 14-year-old self, like, dyeing your hair blue won't distract from the fact that you have a sissy walk. You know, it will only heighten it. So but it's too late to go back in time. So.
All right, wait, what was the question again?
So,
Hi, I'm trans and I do laundry on Sundays. And it's not even at some like crazy weird trans laundromat. What?
And I didn't put my nail up in this video, did I? Because I have one nail that's missing.
But often it's just a question of time. And at the same time, they might not necessarily be the right people for who you are and who you want to be. Awesome. That was negative, wasn't it?